I always know PR is an important aspect, but it doesn't come till the very end, which is the state I'm in now. But a lot of new businesses and brands come on board and they spend so much money in, say, research and development and branding, and then they get to the end and they don't have the cash flow for PR.
Hello and welcome to Truth on a Pedestal, a podcast solely dedicated to talking about how businesses are started and how brands are built. I'm Justine Malone, creative director and founder at Malone Co Studio, and today I'm sitting here with Sophie McGrath from Sophie McGrath PR. She's the director of the company, and welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I know. The reason that I have brought Sophie onto the show is because I feel PR is such an important part of business growth. It is a part that young and new business owners might not be aware of. And to a lot of people, it's a mystery. So I wanted to open it up in conversation. First, I want to talk about how your journey in your life and your career has led you to starting your service-based business, because I know there's a lot of people out there that might be stuck in a corporate job and want to get out and start their own, and I'm hoping that your story inspires them to do it. And then second, we'll delve into the world of PR, how young businesses can maybe start their own, what it means to a business, and when to engage with an agency and what an agency can do for you. So welcome.
Awesome.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Thanks. And I hear that this is you're popping your podcast cherry.
You are, yeah. No, it's weird. I'm often on the other side of the camera telling my clients, you'll be fine. And then now I'm in the seat. Yeah. I'm a bit like, oh, but no, it'll be a good chat. I'm excited
I need to
for
serve
it.
gin, like
maybe
baby pink gin on here.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I love to start from the beginning in all the podcasts, and I'm eager to hear what framed you as a person, because then from there we're going to see your journey to I guess who you are now. So tell me a little bit about little Sophie.
Little Sophie, gosh, she was a very shy little girl. Yeah. She is the youngest of four. Yeah. By a mile. There's quite a gap between me and my siblings. So 13, 10 and 7 years.
And you were the
youngest. Yeah. Okay. So always a bit shy, bit of a dreamer. Yeah. Wasn't really, not necessarily good at school, but always just, teachers would have to kind of snap their fingers and get me to kind of listen and look. I was just kind of away with the fairies and looking out the window and just wanted to be somewhere else. And then I feel like something changed in me as I kind of entered my teenage years. It was more like I want to be heard. And especially when you're the youngest of four, and in my family we're all very similar. Everyone has a loud voice in the end and wants to be heard, and I think that kind of shaped me. And then when I went to secondary school, I just got this kind of burst of confidence, which I think really helped.
So what was the family dynamic like with what did your parents do for work?
Yeah, so my mum and my dad, Martin and Catherine, they're my everything. I adore my parents so much. Hang out with them a lot. My dad, self-made man, had his own business in financial services, and I definitely think he's a big hero of mine, because he kind of told me that I can pave my own way versus working for someone else. So I do feel like that started at a very young age. And my beautiful mum, she was originally a dental nurse and then raised 4 kids, and she's a very excellent mother and still mothering us all. We all go to her. She's our rock, and we just go to her.
So she sacrificed her career to be
4 kids.
4
kids. And we're still, I've got me and my siblings. We just go to mum at any and tell her all our problems, all our issues, and she's always there to help us out.
So your dad coming as an entrepreneur and a self-made man, and then having that support of your mum. Yeah. And then obviously your parents together. Yeah. Like I always find in life and success, there's either money behind it, because you can kind of just pay your way. Yeah. There's that support. Like sometimes there's no money, but if you've got the right people or support or guidance, like you feel like you can do anything.
100%.
Or there's that moment where somebody just gives you a chance.
Yeah.
Or verifies you and you're like, thank you.
Yeah.
I feel like those are three.
Absolutely.
I'm waiting to find like another one, but I'm seeing that as a common.
Yeah, a bit of a
common
pattern.
thread.
Yeah. I mean, Dad, self-made in the sense that, kind of came from nothing, was driving trucks originally, changed jobs a lot, was in accounting, just did all sorts of things and just said yes to everything.
Yeah. So maybe he was a bit of a dreamer as well.
Exactly.
And was trying to find his thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dad and I were very similar people, and I just think he just said yes to everything, which I try and do.
Yeah.
He tried a lot of different things. And I think he's a brilliant people person, which I try and be as well. And it's really important in PR, which I'm sure we'll get to, is just having that emotional intelligence with your clients, with media, ensuring people trust you and they can rely on you, and you're very transparent.
And that intuition of, with people as well.
It's really important. You need to be able to read people, read the room, understand like the next phase and at what pace people are willing to work at. And I think it's a real thing you've got to master. Yeah, in communications especially,
So with when you were in high school, what kind of subjects were you drawn to or good at?
Yeah, look, I can tell you right now, terrible at maths. Loved the idea of science, but just couldn't grasp it. I'm more a humanities girl, so as soon as I could kind of wipe maths and science from the schedule, I was doing literature, history. Yeah, they were my two favourite. English. Not so much on the creative side. My husband Mark, he did a lot of art, design, drama. That also wasn't for me, but I was really interested in art and history specifically and literature.
Okay. And so through high school, did you go to uni? Did you?
I schools are like, I love school. Found my place in terms of the subjects I liked, but then and you go to the careers counsellor and they tell you the 3 things that you can be. At that stage, it was you should be a teacher or a nurse or a whatever, and nothing. I don't know. It just wasn't really grasping with me. So when I finished school, I went to Monash University and I did an arts degree just to continue that love of art and history.
You just did your passion. So even though it didn't make sense at the time, you didn't know what you were going to go to.
No, PR wasn't even on the page. I didn't know what it was. Yeah. It was never a thought.
Well, it wasn't. I mean, what year were you in uni?
When did I finish school? I finished school 2007.
Yeah.
So like the degrees existed. I just hadn't thought of it as an option. It wasn't
like you go to the careers counsellor, it's like, oh, do PR. Like it's
they were like, you should be a teacher. You'd be great with kids. And I was kind of like, okay. And I did. I did work experience at a great school, and I thought that's what I was going to be. And then it just wasn't sitting right. So instead of kind of going into a degree where it's very specific, I just wanted to keep it wide open and see what happens.
And sometimes people, you don't even realise that other people are guiding you in your journey because you're not sure what you want to do. Somebody goes, oh, go and be a teacher. And you're like, oh, okay, I guess I'll do this. And then next minute, you're not happy.
Yeah.
And you're just like, this isn't me. Like, you need to carve your own path and you need to trust that what is drawing you and what you're passionate to is going to lead to something.
Absolutely.
And try and drown out.
And I knew I'd get there. And I mean, look, that's advice for young kids. It's like, you don't have to know.
No,
you don't have to. You're so young, finishing school, trying to work out what you want to do. I want to do so many different things with my life. Yeah. I don't want to be necessarily a PR person my whole life. And I have a lot of other things that I like to do on the side, and I'm building another business. So I'd like to wear a lot of hats. I don't feel like you need to have this one path. Like, change it up.
Yeah,
live
and
your life.
I want to touch base on that business.
Absolutely.
It keeps popping into my head, and even because I'm the kind of person that every second day I'm like, I have no idea, I want to try this thing.
Exactly.
And with your business, like, I really want to start a product. What is the product? I'll do it. Let's brewing.
Absolutely.
2 things.
I think you've got an idea. Go for it.
So then, so you grew up in Melbourne and
grew up in Melbourne. Melbourne girl. Yeah, born and raised. Always been here. Would have loved the opportunity to live overseas. Yeah. But when all my best girlfriends were heading to London for that 2 year,
I call it an OE, an overseas experience. It's a Kiwi slang word, I guess.
Yeah, I decided to set up my own business. So I made that call. I was like, you girls go have fun. And I stayed home and
do you regret that, or do you wish you still went?
A part of me, I'd love to live overseas. But it's just, just one of those things.
One of those things.
But no, I'm also very grateful that I got a head start in the sense of starting my business 8 years ago, my own one. Yeah.
And being like living and growing up in Melbourne, you will have a really good support system and network here as well. So it's not like you've moved here and have to start again. So that support system really helps with starting a business.
I'm very, very lucky. I have a beautiful husband that I've been with for 17 years.
How'd you guys meet?
We met in school. It's a boring story. Like, you were just a high school sweetheart. Yeah, honestly. So but he's just a wonderful support system. I have the same beautiful bunch of girlfriends I've had since school. A few additions here and there, but just a really core group of girlfriends.
Yeah.
Great relationship with my mum, dad, and family. So I'm truly lucky.
Solid.
Yeah, solid.
I love it.
Yeah.
So many people will envy that.
Yeah, no,
that like support.
I know
That's
that.
good.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So went to uni. Tell me about the subjects at uni, like that you sort of studied, and anything that you did part-time work that started to build your, I guess, portfolio.
Yeah. I think when I started to go to uni, I started to realise, with my love of history and art, let's smash them together.
Mm-hmm.
So what did I do? I did a Bachelor of Arts with honours in Renaissance history.
Oh, wow.
So I loved, obviously, art history. That's a perfect mesh of the two. And
you definitely need to go check out the posters.
Yeah, I know. That's why. Yeah, I gave that a like because it's still a part of me that loves all that stuff. And so I thought, right, what can I do? And then I started thinking, I'm going to work in a gallery. I'd love to own a gallery. I'd love to, curate the arts, a museum. Go work in a museum and curate the exhibitions. Like I thought that's what I was going to do.
Yeah.
But still keeping an open mind, within the time of doing my degree. And then that was kind of cemented because in my last year of study, Monash University have a campus in Prato, which is like 20 minutes out of Florence.
Okay.
So I finished my degree there. And
so you did end up getting to go overseas?
Yeah. So did the study trip. But that really cemented that whole idea, like, yes, this is what I want to do. And, I started doing some work in a couple of art galleries when I got back home. And then it wasn't until, so my sister, Kate, my eldest sister, she's the eldest of the four kids, she recently just made the shift. She'd been in media for, decades.
Yeah, as in like reporting or?
Yeah, she started as a reporter on Channel 10 and then was chief of staff and then moved to Channel 9 and finished up being chief of staff there.
Okay.
And she's just moved to the Victorian Chamber of Commerce just recently. So just shifted out of it completely.
Amazing.
Yeah, so it was when, because she's a media person and she gets invited to a lot of events.
Yeah.
She invited me along to, it was AMPR, which is around the corner from where we are. And they were hosting a Forever New fashion show.
Aww.
And Kate, being the chief of staff, she got a front row seat and she got a guest to come with her and I was that guest. And I sat there and I was like, it just clicked. I was like,
love the buzz.
What is this? I want to do this. Who put this on? I want to do this for work. Yeah. This looks fun. Like you get the buzz of the event and, it's
people and
And I happened to be sitting next to, I got talking to the managing director of, she's still the managing director, Sarah Gale. And just landed an internship.
At Forever New?
At AMPR, the PR agency that looked after Forever New.
I feel really stupid saying that now.
No, sorry, I wasn't clear. But it just, right place, right time.
Yeah, and introductions are
key,
so important.
Especially in PR, yes.
Well, in anything like an internship,
it'll change you,
Exactly. Like even, Enya, who works for me now, she got to me via an introduction. Like I wasn't even looking for someone. Yeah. And I didn't realize I needed anyone until I got introduced. And I was like,
so that's what I mean. You've got to say yes.
Yeah. It's just like go out, make the connections.
Go out of your way. You never know where it will land. And now I've built an entire career on this one little Thursday night fashion show.
And Melbourne, it is very cliquey. There's everybody knows everybody in this like particular entertainment world. And
PR's a very small one too.
Very small, and I don't know, I mean, it's started to, we'll get there with PR, but Melbourne in general, everybody knows everybody, so
you never know where it might lead.
You never know where it might lead, exactly.
Absolutely.
But as much as like you want to meet somebody or get in somewhere, I always say, don't get caught up in the rat race. Like, stay true to yourself and stay on your own course and what you like doing.
Yeah.
Because it's very easy to get caught up in it. And then you're like, this is not where I want to be, but I'm where I should be.
Yeah. And look, in any industry, it's hard to not look at other people and see what they're doing and think you're doing less or you should be better. Like, it's hard, but you've just really got to stick to what you know and be true to yourself.
Sometimes if you don't look, you're like more happier. And
yeah.
you're like, I'm doing amazing.
Social media makes that really hard though, all the constant comparisons across all these channels. But absolutely.
Oh, well, that's amazing. So it was the introduction and...
Yeah, there was just this, I remember it so clearly. It was just like, this is fun.
Yeah.
And then like those reality shows came out, like remember The Hills? And like they were doing, fashion internships. And I'm like, this is what I want to do as a job. Yeah. So
and it was,
kind of mesh.
I mean, as much as you got the invitation to the event and the internship, you still had to prove yourself. So
absolutely.
What was that first internship like, working there? Like, what did you have to do as an intern?
Oh my God, I remember my dad actually sent me a picture. For whatever reason, it was on his phone, and it was like the first day of my internship. I was still at uni, so it was like the last year of uni, and I was doing it on my days off. And I remember I had this like puffy shirt on and this like little leather.
How long did it take you to choose your outfit?
I went out shopping with Mum, had like little ballet flats and leather pants and a Moschino belt, and just thought I was this big fashion girl.
Oh my gosh. So much fun.
Yeah, but and there was a couple of other interns there at the same time, and I just sunk my teeth into it. Just got into it. I mean, you were doing pretty basic tasks most of the time and just helping, but just getting a grasp and understanding how these tasks really help expand into this bigger picture and project of what the entire team's working on was just brilliant.
So what was the mood like in that industry, like being an intern?
Yeah, I mean, it can be terrifying. It's fast paced. There's a lot of conversations. You've just got to know what's kind of happening.
Yeah.
But you've also got to ask all the questions.
Yeah.
You can't just sit there and hope for the best.
Yeah, and hope that you get.
You've got to have the confidence to be like, how can I help you, or what can I do, or what's going on here?
An initiative.
You've got to have initiative.
Okay.
Absolutely. You've got to be like one step ahead. Yeah.
Quite cutthroat, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's cutthroat, but it's fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you find your place and you find your way of communicating with people and team members and media and whoever you're talking to. You really find.
And again, connections and making authentic connections with people as well.
Yeah, so I loved it. I really thrived. I did it, I don't know if it was many, many years ago. And I did it for a couple of months.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, hey, I got ready for a job, and there was nothing going there. But then I went to another PR agency and was offered a coordinator job. Okay. And that's when it really started. And I worked on some great accounts and really met. That was really important because I worked on some important accounts where they do a lot of events, and I met a lot of my media contacts, which I'm still friendly with today.
And they would have been also kind of young in their career, so you kind of grew up together. So that was brilliant. So I'm grateful for that too. That's an important tip as well. So when you're like getting into your career, you like align yourself with other people getting into their career as well, and get to know them because you're going to grow together.
And just remember, everyone's human. Yeah. Like, just have a conversation, pick up the phone, go introduce yourself. Yeah. As hard as it seems, like.
Just say hi.
Yeah.
Just like, hi, I'm so-and-so.
Yeah, you never know where it might lead or what they're after or, Absolutely.
So going from working for somebody else, was there anybody in that world that really stands out to you, that opened your mind up or changed the direction in your career before you started your business?
Well, here's the funny thing. I never, a part of me, because obviously having my dad as a bit of a guide, I think I assumed one day I'd be my own boss, but I was kind of pushed into it. Yeah. Because, in a good way. Okay. So I did my time at some of Melbourne's best PR agencies, fashion, lifestyle, consumer, fast-paced, learnt everything, and I'm grateful for. And
you learn about processes, people, time management,
some of which I still use today in my own business. Yeah. Some I don't, but it was such a great learning curve, and I just, because I loved it so much and found a passion for it, I just loved every day. But I mean, in my last agency, I just kind of felt I was doing everything on my own anyway. Yeah. So everyone was kind of in teams, and I was kind of given projects and tasks and kind of getting them done end to end. Yeah. And then I just had this light bulb moment, like,
why am I doing this for somebody else?
why don't I do this for myself? I've got the media connections. I know how to set up a strategy. I know how to do a budget. Honestly, it was this light bulb moment.
It's the light bulb moment. And you sit back and you think, you know, the event will go off and everybody's raving about it, and you're sitting in the corner saying,
everyone was always complimentary. You know, things went well. I was always thinking about all the possible things that could go wrong, which we can talk about because things can go wrong. And yeah, just this light bulb moment. So yeah, and I was lucky too. I still lived at home. Like,
you could take the chance.
I was younger. So yeah, I started my business when I was 25, turning 26. And yeah, didn't have a lot of baggage and just went for it.
Yeah. So before we get into the start of your business, I haven't even asked this. Explain what is PR. Like, I know to you it's like, how do you not know?
I think you said in the intro, it's this
mystery.
But you know what? It doesn't have to be a mystery. And this is a part of the problem. It's like we need to gather all the PRs together and just have a conversation about how we actually explain what we do.
People are like, is it marketing?
It's not a dark art. People think it's this like mysterious dark art thing, and it doesn't need to be. It's it very much goes hand in hand with your marketing, your advertising, your social. It's all a part of the wheel. Okay. What we do as PR is we create hype, buzz, awareness around your product, event, shop, person, profiling the person.
Okay. Because some people come to you and they want to elevate their like personal brand as well.
Yeah.
So you got product that you can bring up around events.
Yep. Because we do a lot of we don't have a niche necessarily. If it excites us and me and the team, we work on everything. Yeah. That's just the ethos. We don't just work on one thing. Okay. So hospitality, we launch new restaurants. We do a lot of major events in Melbourne. So we do the Australian Open, which we're coming up to. So when you say you launch it and you do it, so you've got,
we need to like create an avatar brand or something. So what is... we can talk product and event hand in hand. So you either have a product that you're about to launch, so somebody has done their branding, they've got their packaging, they've launched their website, so that's all ready to go. So that's one story. And then the other one is Australian Open, an event. Yeah. So when you say you launch it, you do it. Yeah. They've already launched in their head. Yeah. They've got their little marketing and EDMs happening. They've put their Google ads out. Like what's the addition then?
Yeah, I mean, PR
There's the mystery.
PR, it can expand you into more channels and to a bigger audience. So our role as PR, and what I specifically do is I focus pretty much solely on media relations. Okay. So my focus is always, if you want that big feature in, say, a broadsheet, AFR.
If you're a product and you want to be, if there was like Vogue, and you are this new beauty product and you want to be launched in Vogue. Yeah. How do you, that's what you do? You get them into Vogue.
So I use my relationships to then hopefully, and that's the tricky part, get you the space within the magazine. So your new product would feature on that beautiful product placement page of new spring trends or products coming out.
Yet they still need to pay for that space?
No, that's advertising. Okay. So advertising is when you pay for a space, and so ads in magazines, that's paid space. Okay. So they just pay, and it's very transactional. Whereas our job has to be a little bit more strategic in the sense that you're literally relying on the PR's relationships with that publication and those journalists to talk about the possibility of potential editorial.
Okay. And does the product... So I'm talking products. So does the product need to have something to talk about?
Yeah.
I mean, it can't just fall flat.
See, that's the thing. And I meet with a lot of people and people just expect PR can happen because they exist. Yeah. And it doesn't. The part of the strategy behind PR is that we try and find your key points of differences, your unique selling points. You need to add value to the media.
Yeah. And you need to make the publication that, for example, if you're getting printed in Vogue, you need to add value to that.
Exactly. You need to add value to the readers as well as the journalist. The journalist receives thousands of emails and calls a day, not just from PR agents like myself.
I do not know how they manage
but brands directly who are doing their own kind of PR campaigns to everyone. So what's going to make them take your call or open up your email? they want to see beautiful assets, beautiful branding, beautiful imagery. They want to have you spoon feed them all the unique key factors about the product. And then they go, this sounds amazing. Yeah, I want to run something on this brand, whether it's a beautiful interview with the founder or just simply product placement on a page.
Okay. And you can almost write a beautiful blurb for it, because then they might go, oh my gosh, I just need to tweak that, and then I've done my job for the day. Like, it's so fast moving.
Yeah. So I work with people at any stage they're at. So I can work with new startups and founders from the get-go in terms of setting up all their assets and branding.
Yeah.
But sometimes we get clients coming to us that have all that ready to go, and we're just the cherry on top, and they're just wanting a bit more of a strategy.
Yeah.
So we might do their communication strategy in the sense that we write the media release, we call out their key messages. That's then we then deliver to the media person.
So the media release, I know that copywriters, I've worked with copywriters, they'll write a media release, and the brand will have one media release that they have, and then that is what they send out to.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very old school, archaic way of, thinking about communications, but a media release is just such an easy. It still works because you just want to make the journalist's job easy at the end of the day. They just want to open up your email, open up a one-page document. Don't make your media releases 10 pages long. No one's going to read past the first page. And just have the key information in there, and the contact details, and the social media handles, and the website, and links to the imagery. All
right. So even if it's a PDF, it's a clickable PDF as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Little tiny things.
Or
like that.
add the links in the body of an email. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, then now take me through something with an event. When you say you launch the event, what does PR do with that?
So, I mean, we do a lot of event management, and so sometimes when we do hospitality clients, they want a launch event. Yeah. But we only do it when we think it's really appropriate.
Yeah, if there's something
because every client has a different budget, right? Yeah. So they'll come to us and they'll say, I've got X amount of budget, and it might be on the lower end, and we say, maybe hold on the event, maybe do that another time, and we'll just focus on media relations and just make sure you're seen in all the right spots.
So I say the same. It's like we can work with any budget.
Exactly. What you get for that.
What you get, like at time.
And we try and tell the client, like, you've only got this is what you should do with it. This is going to be the most powerful with that budget. Okay. So that's what we like to do. But then we've got obviously big scale events like Oz Open, which everyone's already heard about, right? So the job's already kind of done in terms of an awareness. My job is I work specifically with the food and beverage and hospitality teams. And my job is just to kind of sell the hospitality experience at the AO. So people then book tables and see all the extravagance and the beautiful boxes and tables that you can book at the AO, which is brilliant. So I end up working with all these different stakeholders, so 100 plus stakeholders, because you're dealing with chefs and restaurants directly who come in for the AO. Yeah. And have their pop-up, or they're involved in the arena within a space, and my job is to promote that so people are aware of the AO is not just about tennis. You can go there and have a great day out in terms of hospitality. Yeah. So
but it's about that extra level.
It's just that extra level. I'm just kind of almost managing that. Yeah. It's not like a new restaurant that's just launched where you have to start from the ground up, or a new product where you're kind of setting the scene and launching it appropriately. Oz Open, everyone's across the globe. So that's a really fun one to work on. Okay. Yeah.
And then would you bring cross collaboration brands within that, or do you keep everybody quite separate?
Or in terms of the clients that I have at any one time?
Yeah. Do you cross over clients?
Yeah, well, that's the beauty of
because of marketing, and you can do cross collaborations, and that helps.
Absolutely.
PR,
if
somebody's launching a restaurant, but somebody's also launching a new alcohol, would you kind of bring them together, bring the budget together?
Absolutely. Yeah. If we think that it's just a great hookup and collaboration, we'll definitely get people involved and our clients involved. Even not our current, because we work mostly on a project basis. We have a few retainers, but we just love to connect people, and that's the beauty of working across different areas, because we do hospitality, we do wellness, we do beauty, we do events. Okay. So there can be this lovely collaboration.
Because that ties in. Whenever I think of PR, I guess in my line of work, I always think it's the creative, then the marketing, then the PR. So PR and marketing work really close together, and then the marketing and the design work close together. Is that kind of?
I like to say we're the cherry on top.
Yeah, it's like, and then
it's like this little nice addition.
Yeah,
because you need your marketing, you need your social channels up, you need all that running, and PR just is that little cherry that kind of adds all that hype and awareness, and obviously helps marketing and SEO and delivery to your website.
And you need to work. So if a brand's up and running, you want to work with their marketing agency.
We love working with marketing agencies, and we work mostly with the marketing managers within the teams.
Okay. And do you have I'm thinking for smaller scale businesses that have their small team, but they outsource to a marketing agency and they outsource to you. If they don't have a marketing agency yet and they come to you and say, I need PR, do you have a marketing agency that you work with? You have the people that you know that
we've got
runs
so many different suppliers. So from photographers to any kind of creative to marketing to social media agencies, like we have a full support system, because we only do media relations and event management, and say a client's like, I need social media support or marketing. We've already got people that we can suggest that they talk to, and whether that goes ahead or not. Up
but
to
it
them.
means that because you've worked with them before.
Yeah, we can trust that they can deliver. So say it's a hospitality client, we have someone particularly that we use that we offer them to help them versus like a fashion marketing person.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay. And if somebody wanted to very much start doing some stuff on their own, what could they do? As in just to... Not to like make a huge noise or anything. They don't need a big team, but what are the tiny things they can do? So for example, if somebody starts their own brand and they learn how to send out one EDM a month through MailChimp, like that's all they can manage at the moment because they're in the first 6 months. What can they do that's quite small scale to just kind of tinker away? And I'm talking about the people that are happy to have their brand. It's their, they don't want to be some like global huge entity, but it's their little baby that they like to kind of just be proud of and earn enough money to be able to go on a family holiday, because there's so many small businesses like that, and those are the people that will go, what can I do to get into a little magazine? Like, how do they crack into that, because everybody's so connected?
That's the thing. What can people do? And I understand this completely, because again, I'm setting up another side business, and I always know PR is an important aspect, but it doesn't come till the very end, which is the state I'm in now. But a lot of new businesses and brands come on board and they spend so much money in, say, research and development and branding, and then they get to the end and they don't have the cash flow for PR or the PR support. And we find that a lot. But what you can do is just get savvy with it. Like open up your social media channels, follow people that you think are great for your brand and are like-minded people for your brand. DM them, have conversations. Say, if it's a product, say, can I send you my product to try? I would just love some feedback. Go to the news agency, buy up the mags. In the first page is the contents page of, the people that write in the magazine. So if there's a particular page that you're into, you can find, on the side, the person that compiled that page. If you can find their email, which you usually can, you can guess it, most likely. Send them an email with some beautiful imagery, some assets, your media release, just telling them about your brand. You never know, you never know what might happen from a simple email or conversation.
And a media release can sound big and scary, but it is, you can contact a copywriter to write a media release for you.
Sometimes people contact us just to write media releases, which we can definitely do for them once we gather all those key messages.
And you said something interesting before, a lot of people launch their brand and they don't have budget for PR or marketing. So that is
it's the end of the line kind of stuff.
And I think that's a really important note when creating a brand is have your budget for creating and launching and have money to push after. It's 100%. Not like, we'll launch and then we'll figure it out.
Know your cash flow. And, maths isn't a strong point for me, but I've now got a cash flow where I understand, what money I need to set aside for what activity, X amount of months down the track, which is really important. But that's a whole other conversation talking about cash flow, isn't it?
And how has UGC has popped up in the last fair few years? That would have changed PR. How is that? I'm assuming that's kind of helped, or does it draw away, or do you use
it's great.
it?
Yeah, it's brilliant. We love that. We love when content creators get involved and take the user-generated content. We love to see it. And sometimes a part of our PR campaigns is to gift certain key opinion makers. Yeah. That's what we call them instead of saying influencer. I hate that word influencer.
And I
say
feel
key
like we've
opinion leader,
moved
key
on
opinion
from
maker.
influencer now.
It has a bit of an ick to it. I don't know.
It does. And I've met some beautiful young people that are like 17 or 16 or 17. I always say, what do you want to do when they grow up? They're like, I want to be an influencer. I was like, why does that sound so bad?
I'm like, key opinion leader or maker just sounds so much cooler. So that's what I'll call you.
Oh, okay. Let's change it up. But
but yeah, we often will gift, say it's a beautiful product that needs to be felt and seen and worn. You know, it helps to gift some people the product and just ask for feedback. I think feedback is a great way to start relationships with media and with content creators.
So it's launching your product. I'm going to use round numbers. Say you launch with tiny round numbers, 100 units, and then you go, right, 20 or like 20% of whatever you launch needs to be gifts. So that I think is also, that happens. People, they put all of their money into production because these are, I'm talking startups that haven't been funded and it is like their little baby.
Yeah.
And the thought of giving it away is painful. You're like, oh no, but
it's important.
You almost need to say it's the start. And one of my old bosses once said to me, in the first year of business, don't expect to make money. You just want to come even.
Like, 100%.
Yeah, so come out even and you're good. Like it's your making year, and then after that you might see some increments happening.
Absolutely. And when I say, you know, gift and give it away, it's not to anyone. Yeah. That's why I said, look at who you want to align yourself with in your brand.
Yeah.
You know, do a really researched list. Don't just send it far and wide and hope for the best.
And
like,
how do you
actually
know who would
research
align?
that.
Like, is it just target audience?
I think it's your target audience. Yeah, anyone that you know see as influential to you and your brand that you think would be a brilliant fit, or you'd love to get to know or start a relationship with.
Yeah,
I think that's really important. You know, everything you do should come with intention.
Yeah,
and you should do with intention. You know, and have a strategy behind it as well. Not just blast it out and hope for the best. Yeah, exactly. You can't even do that with PR. Unfortunately, I think some people think my job is sending out a BCC email and hoping for the best. No, you know, it's very strategic. You're very kind of very individual emails, phone calls. It's a slog. It takes a long time, and this is why people hire PR agencies because it's a full-time job to manage a brand's message.
Yeah. And so in regards to hiring PR agency, I don't know if we can talk about costs, but ballpark figures for what do people expect from a PR agency in the industry at the moment?
Again, another grey area.
It's so grey, I know, because it's like what you can get. But if, say, somebody has a $5,000 a month budget, is that something that they can
absolutely.
use?
You can do so much with that. But again, it depends on
what they want. And
what they want,
to our little
who
product avatar, just to keep the story going there. So if they're a product and, okay, let's break it down into like $2,000 a month. Is that enough to kind of
absolutely.
Okay, good.
It really is. Don't be afraid to contact and have a conversation.
Yeah. So we're not talking like $20,000 a month for PR. It's I mean, it just needs a little bit going.
If you want $20,000 worth of work from our end, sure. But you can definitely do some stuff.
That's good to know.
Yeah, you really can. I don't think brands should be. I always have conversations with people. People will email me and, you know.
So I've got this. What can we do? And then the next month, I've got a little more. I push it.
And I'm happy to tell them, like, this is what you should do with that amount of money. You don't need to do everything at once, which I think is an important message. Yeah. You don't need to have your launch event. You don't need to have, you just pick a few things.
Because sometimes PR can look expensive because the outcome is always so elaborate and cool and big. And so you're like, oh, that's so expensive. But
you can be smart about it and be strategic and set aside a certain budget, and we can all, you know, any PR can work together on what they can do for you. Yeah. And what's going to be the best outcome for you and your brand. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And do you have because you are slowly growing in your business.
Yeah.
So you don't have a cap on clients, you're still taking on clients and new work?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what always. Like, where do you see your business going at the moment? So it sounds like you're across products, branding, hospitality, people.
Yeah, we do it all.
What's the next step for you and your brand?
Yeah, next step will be, continue expanding the business and hiring people.
Yeah.
When I first started out this little Sophie McGrath PR, I loved the lifestyle of it just being me and But
then you were working from home? Is that the typical?
Working from home, did everything from start to finish.
Yeah.
It was only when I got my first employee, I was like, oh my gosh, like I've got some free time.
Yeah.
You know, it's quite a lot when you're doing everything. And I used to do a lot of contract work, so I'd go into businesses and, you know, just help them out with whatever PR they needed. But yeah, it's lovely to have the support, and I've got some great girls with me currently.
So running a service business, and I'm going back to like middle of the podcast, having a small team has helped you grow.
Yeah.
It gets to that point where you can only grow so much on your own. So
I tried to do it all.
Did you try using contractors?
Only for very big, only for very, very big projects that, you know, I needed the extra brain power. But usually, it was just all me.
There's nobody else that was in your system and being able to like jump into your files and do stuff.
No,
so
it was all me.
Yeah.
And look, I don't necessarily recommend that, because I ended up, I was diagnosed with chronic fatigue in late 2019.
Burnt out.
Totally burnt out.
But then you had 2020 to relax.
Well, that's the thing. Everyone kept telling me you need to relax, you know, all the professors and everyone that was involved. And 2020 rolled around and
it was a blessing.
I lost a lot of work because I did a lot of hospitality and new launches and new businesses that I had nothing to do but relax.
Yeah.
And
refocus on the business. So when did you hire your first employee?
It would have been at the end of 2020.
Okay. When things were opening up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then that's probably like the switch happened where I was like, hang on, I can
do this smarter. And it's an investment taking somebody on.
Yeah.
And you often don't see the money go up for the first few months. It's kind of like, oh God, the learning and stuff. And then you do it. So for any businesses that are trying to grow, like just hang in there.
Oh,
Staff
100%.
is good. Teach them as quick as possible.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Bloom, hopefully.
It gets easier. Like obviously it's hard when people start, but you know, it's just I really like the mentoring and the teaching and the I really enjoy it. Yeah, now I have the support of other employees to help that with new staff members. That really helps too. I mean, we have our certain ways of working, but we're open to other ideas as well.
And the massive events you always have to bring in extra people.
Yeah, exactly. Those bigger clients, involve more brains, more hands.
With PR in Melbourne specifically, because it's a city of so many events and so much fun stuff, is how do you get along with the other PR agencies? Is it like, what am I trying to say? Do you guys, like you know everybody and you, and I know you obviously saying this on camera. So
no.
I guess some industries there's competition and some industries everybody works together. So in Melbourne with PR, like does it matter? Because if you're full with clients, it's your job to get in, but you're in competition with everybody else's. How's that going?
Look, I've never experienced any kind of negativity or competition directly. If it's competition, it's healthy competition.
Okay.
You know, sometimes a client does go to multiple people to get multiple quotes, and whoever gets the client at the end of the day, it's theirs, fair and square.
It's small, but it's not small enough that people are scratching for work.
No, there's plenty of work. Okay. There's enough work. I've never found myself in 8 years of business, you know, clawing for I mean, it helps that I'm in my, as you said before, like I'm in my own lane doing my own thing. I work cross category. I've got some great work, you know, currently and coming up. And there's some great businesses and PR businesses out there that are doing wonderful ththings, and it works well. Like say I'm too busy or at capacity or it's really not for me, I might pass that on to another mate in the industry.
That you know is good enough.
That is either specialised or has a bigger team or might interest them.
And do you feel that there is a lot more PR agencies popping up? I've noticed that my feed, I don't know if they are popping up or if it's just because people are pushing advertising more.
Yeah, I do find that there's a lot more consultants coming out. Like a lot of people maybe leaving you know, corporate agency life behind and setting up their own kind of contractor consultant, which is what I originally did anyway. Yeah. So I do find there's more of that. Okay. And there's smaller teams like mine that are coming through.
But then like a massive, like Australian Open is not going to hire a small, tiny consultant. They'll hire somebody with some staff and backing.
Yeah. I mean, originally I've always been the contractor involved, but we'll wait and see. Yeah.
Well, I feel like we've covered a lot in PR. I'm just wondering if there's any thing we've missed, like anything that the mystery of PR. We uncovered it all.
Well, if anything, I would love to demystify.
Your new
PR.
product as well. You
Oh,
have got
yeah.
a new product coming out.
I do.
So you have gone your service-based industry,
Yeah.
and now you are about to launch a product. So you have gone through your branding, your packaging, website's underway, photography's going to be happening, and you're going to launch soon.
Yeah.
Did you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Maybe by the time this podcast goes out, it's probably your brand will probably launched too.
No, it's very exciting, and that's the beauty of being a publicist and understanding that side of things.
Yeah.
But then starting a brand from scratch is a totally different experience.
Has it made you appreciate when your clients come to you with their brand? Has it made you appreciate the stuff that they've already gone through? And so now you're like, it's okay. You made it to You made it to the cherry on top. Come with me.
I get it. Yeah, I'm that
They're
person
already
at the
like
angel
frazzled
at the end.
and like, oh God, I've gone through 2 years of production.
Yeah, I never understood that part where people were like, oh, I've been working on this for
2 years.
4,
and
2,
you're just
3.
like, why?
Yeah,
Just get it out there.
But then my new business has taken almost, by the time it launches, it would have been 3 years since I started working on it.
Wow.
So that's the part I never understood, and now I'm like, oh, I get it. There's so many hurdles.
They've got baggage with them.
Yeah,
they're not like a clean slate of let's do some PR and get out there. They're weathered.
Yeah, and I get that now. But so launching hopefully late November this year after a few stop starts. But it is a business called Bed Intentions. Well, the long form name is the Department of Bed Intentions, but Bed Intentions for short, or BI. And it's a sex and sleep business. Yeah. So we specialise in sex and sleep products. We're launching with one product first, and then we're currently working on products 2, 3, and 4, which will hopefully be out in 2024. But the first product I'm very proud of. It's the first microbiome certified lube in the world. Yeah. So it's not going to mess with anything down there.
Everything.
Yeah, we're all trademarked. Yeah. And that's a water-based lubricant that will launch in November.
And we won't talk about the other products because they're...
No, you can. Yeah. So then we're launching an oil-based product and a second oil-based product. The first one's quite innovative.
Like a massage?
Yeah. Okay. And then the first product is a capsule, like an oil capsule, which will come out. Yeah. Okay. Which are for oil-based lubricant. So there's water, oil, there's silicone, but we're not doing a silicone one. Yeah. And then our fourth product will be a sleep product, which is currently an R&D. Okay. So research and development. Well, yeah. Looking into a little lovely thing that you can take before sex or before sleep, just to relax you.
Not too long before sex.
No.
Someone's getting sex.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of studies around how, especially women experience a lot of anxiety before any kind of sexual activity. So this is just, I don't know, maybe because we're all so busy with our days.
And then you have to switch into mode.
And so it's harder to relax. Yeah. So we're really looking into that in terms of a product to develop. And
that would actually, it's kind of just it's, if your mind is calm and clear and you're stressed.
I find it myself, I'm constantly thinking about a million things.
And
so
it's like, hey, and you're like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Not right now.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I'm on my podcast tomorrow right now.
Yeah, exactly.
But men are like, switch off.
Let's go.
Okay, how do you do that? So it's like the switch off pill you invent.
We hope so, but that's still
a lot of men will be very happy with you if you invent that.
Thank you. Yeah.
And you said that you're launching one product. I love that. So why have you decided to launch the first one and then do it out rather than launching all?
I think, look, I'm pretty impatient and it's been 3 years, so I just want to get it out in the world. It's time.
Getting the brand out, just pushing the one.
Sexual wellness is booming. I want to be a part of it. I'm really, really proud of this particular product. Yeah. We've done 2 focus groups with it. Everyone loves it. Yeah. Not a negative comment on it. So really, really proud of it.
A lot of smiles in the room.
A lot of smiles, yeah. And I don't know, there was a lot of pushback from a lot of people, a lot of contractors and stuff that are involved in the business about launching with just one product.
Okay.
But again, I find, and I love the businesses that do this really well, is, you know, that whole community feel and very transparent messaging. So everyone will be well aware of what's coming and when it's coming and how we're working on it.
I don't like the transparency of like
product innovation.
Soon, watch this space. It's like, what is it? I don't know, I'm bored, move on to somebody's giving me what it is.
Yeah.
And also launching with one product, most of the time, if you go onto any brand with multiple products, you're probably going to just try one product to start. Anyway, you're not going to be like, I'm going to buy your whole range. It's like, try the one. If they love the lube, then when the next product comes out, you've already got a customer.
Try it. Yeah,
exactly.
We've built that trust,
tactic.
which is so important. Which again, that's what PR helps to do, is build that trust.
Building trust, building your brand.
Yeah.
There you go.
Because you want people to come back and buy your product. Yeah. So it's really important that the right people are talking about it in the publications.
Launching
and
one product is fine.
It's fine. I'm at peace with it now. But it was met with a bit of like, oh, you should probably wait until you've got like fully fledged shop. And I was like, nah, we're getting it out. We're going.
You are a like single business owner on it. It's like it's your baby. Right?
It's mine. Exactly. Yeah, I'm the founder.
You're going to be doing stuff. So, and I know I get it from the back end when I see people launch a product. It's a lot to take in. If you are running your own Shopify store. You are,
and I have no idea about that. I only know PR. That's the one and only thing that I'm good at.
If you're doing your own customer service, if you've got to update your stock, it's tiny things. But if you have to learn all of that, if you're doing your own social media and posts and marketing for it, one product is manageable. But if you're like, bang, there's 10 products, it's terrifying. So overwhelming. So I'm a big advocate of launching like one or two things. Yeah, simple. Then
build from there.
Yeah, and I've
let people know what's coming. Yeah.
Like I literally see in my clients when they launch, they're like, I'm so scared. And they're like, it's okay. And then they start to be like, oh, I know this, I got this, I know Shopify. And then when they launch the second one, they're all over it.
Yeah. Baby steps, please. It's my first little,
I'm so excited
SMPR, but first little product-based business. But very exciting.
I have a feeling it's going to do really well, especially if it's the first in the world of something.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've just... because I didn't necessarily need to set up another business. I could have just been a publicist my whole life. But again...
But you're a dreamer.
A dreamer from the very beginning and wanted to do different things.
And once, your business is running, it's nice to have... It starts with a passion.
Yeah, it starts with a passion. Yeah. And it hasn't stopped for 3 years. So I definitely found that passion. But I want this brand to be something that I'm really proud of. Yeah. And we've got all the certifications and things that,
a lot of work.
Make people trust the product and hopefully the brand down the line.
Well, they will. Yeah. We'll have to wrap this podcast up.
Yeah.
Any last advice, very much in PR or creating your brand, like any hurdles or
I mean, in terms of PR, just making sure that you're always thinking about those key messages and the key points of difference to your product. We can't just PR something because it exists.
Yeah.
Which is a hard lesson I have to tell a lot of people that come to me.
Yeah.
What makes you unique? What's going to make someone write about your product in a Vogue magazine?
You have to be passionate to be able to push it. Shelby said that as well about marketing. She says that when clients come into her office, she's like, I need to know that there's something for me to market here.
Yeah, it's the same with PR. Like, what's the message? What are we trying to get at? Yeah. What are we trying to tell media, and then media to tell their readers?
Yeah. Okay.
And also, as you would know, having great brand assets.
Yeah.
Spend the cash on beautiful photography, working with a graphic designer to, that all really helps because it's such a busy world out there.
Yeah.
Everyone's coming at everyone with all sorts of branding.
Yeah.
You've just got to stand out for all the right reasons. So put some money aside for that.
An AI-generated logo is not going to cut it.
No,
people.
It's important. Yeah, you got to look good, People pick up something. They do judge a book by its cover.
They do, they do. And branding, it's not just about the logo and the colours. It's about everything.
Yeah,
the story,
in terms of Bed Intentions, I spent a lot of time. I spent most of those 3 years actually working out what's the identity, what does it look like, and going through that again and again and again. And now I'm at a place.
Don't rush it.
Yeah, don't rush it.
Do not rush it.
Don't rush it. But great. I'd say that.
Well, thank you so much.
No, thank
for
you
being on the podcast. Your
Thanks
cherry is
My
officially popped.
Thank you.
So, Sophie McGrath with Truth on a Pedestal, and I'm Justine Malone.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Justine.